So my name is Niraj Vora. I'm a senior sales engineer at Fivetran, and I'm here to talk about Fivetran and data movement. So in today's digital economy, companies need access to data quickly and reliably to make better business decisions. But then the challenge is the data is growing in disparate silos, each trapped within different departments, right? Data lives in files, hundreds of applications, business applications, SaaS applications, or data can reside in legacy databases, which are really not conducive for real-time reporting. Fivetran automates the delivery of the data into the cloud data store, providing instant access to the data as reliably as a utility company delivers electricity. So now companies can focus on putting that data to work instead of trying to figure out how to find, collect, manage, integrate that data, right? This is the value of Fivetran, delivering data access, securely, timely, so that you can make better business decisions. Data needs to be integrated into the cloud data stores, right? But that does not necessarily mean that the data is usable. 44% of the companies indicate that the key data is not usable for decision making. Companies are restrained by resources. Your data engineers are busy, managing, maintaining pipelines which break often. They do not have time to extract maximum value from your existing data. This leads to delayed decisions, lost opportunities. The data scientists, we have polled 80% of those data scientists, actually spend time collecting and integrating data rather than analyzing data. Data is valuable, but data needs to be available in the format, where it's usable, and it needs to be available, when it's needed, where it's needed. Let's talk a little bit about the maturity curve. The maturity curve, is a good indicator of, where you are in the current process and where you need to be, right? So if you're not really familiar with the maturity curve, it's a way an industry or a company, measures and understands progress. The idea being that, the maturity curve is a measurement of the ability of an organization for continuous improvement in a particular discipline. Now, if you look across this curve, where are you in the journey? Where do you need to be? What is holding you back from making that journey, right? In today's competitive world, the enterprises are investing heavily into advanced analytical solutions, so that they can move from ad hoc reporting to prescriptive and predictive analytics so that they can make better decisions. Now, you may have heard of this term, right? Data is the new oil. This was coined by a British mathematician, Clive Humby. Oil in 21st century is as valuable as, data in 21st century is as valuable as the oil in previous century, an immensely untapped valuable asset, right? Now, when it comes to oil, the oil companies, once they find the oil in ground, they pretty much know what steps they need to, basically turn that oil into profit. Drill, extract, refine, and sell. But when it comes to data, a lot of organizations are still struggling to trying to figure out, how to turn that data into a profitable activity, right? Data is valuable. We are in this digital economy, where data is more valuable than ever. But in an unrefined format, that data is not really usable. It needs to be refined, right? Transformed in such a manner so that you can derive profitable activity from there, and which helps you, make key decisions better. This is where Fivetran comes in. Now, Fivetran is an industry leader in automated, scalable, and secure data movement. We reliably and continuously, move data from the tools your teams rely on to make decisions and run business, right? We reliably and continuously, centralize all that data to the cloud data warehouse so that your teams can, focus on analytics rather than trying to, manage, maintain those data pipelines, which constantly break. Fivetran has, connectors for all your departmental applications, from legacy databases to SaaS applications to files, and we automatically, replicate that onto your cloud data sources without having to, do any kind of manual data pipeline maintenance. Now, your data changes, right? And with the Fivetran tool, we automatically update those relevant rows onto the destination as and when they change on the source. Your schema changes, right? That's the way of life, right? Any database applications, as you add a new field or a new table, or even if you look at, applications like Salesforce, where you can add custom fields, as soon as they get added on the source, we can automatically, migrate those schema changes onto the destination. Failure recovery. Like any application will have issues. You may have connection issues to your databases. You may have API outages. How do you recover from there? Fivetran automatically, maintains the synchronization point so that it knows where to restart from. And it will restart from that last successful point so that you do not have to worry about any data integrity issues, etc. and so on. Fivetran deploys micro-batched architecture, which means that we optimize your queries and the API calls so that when we do the historical sync, we do not add additional load to your source systems, which is important because your source systems are heavily used than ever. And you really do not want to add any additional load other than what you already have. And finally, the data is available in your cloud data warehouses in 5 minutes after we initiate the replication. So this slide talks about the various different connectors we have. We have more than 180 connectors for most popular data sources, with more than 50 just in marketing analytics. We have connectors for pretty much all your business applications, from SaaS applications to files to databases to sales analytics like Salesforce, the HR analytics like Workday, etc. and all. Now, if you don't see a connector out here, or if you don't have a connector which we support natively, we have a generic connector which allows us to extract data from pretty much any source. As long as there is a way to extract data from a particular source, 99% of the time, Fivetran can automate the extraction of that data in an easy and automated manner. Now, we just talked about the sources, but then what about the destinations? We partner with all the major cloud providers. So that means that we can basically move the data to any or all of those major cloud providers so that you can now power your analytics, machine learning, and AI use cases onto those platforms. We are basically Switzerland of this world. We pretty much can move data to any of those destinations. So let's look at this slide. I mean, some of you may be familiar with this, that Fivetran acquired HVR in late 2021. For now, we are basically maintaining two separate work streams, but eventually, these two products will get integrated into a single suite, right? But for now, to handle the different needs of the data and different use cases, we are maintaining separate workflows. We are taking an integrated approach to basically bringing both those products together. Now, if you're using a particular type of data, you may only experience one flavor versus another. But it's useful to understand what the architecture looks like, what will be the future state once those products are integrated. If your use case is to extract data from legacy databases with high volumes, you'll probably use the HVR tool set. But then Fivetran.com allows you to, basically access data from your applications, your SaaS applications, your files, your APIs, etc., and so on. But rest assured, both of these products will be migrated into or integrated into a single service provided, managed service provided in like near future. I mean, I don't really have the timelines for it yet, but I mean, we are talking about in very, very near future. Finally, security. Fivetran takes the security of your data very seriously. We have earned the most secure governance and compliance certifications of all the cloud-based ELT programs, including the CCPA, GDPR, HIPAA, ISO, PCI, SOC 2, etc., and so on. Now, we also have a business critical plan, which basically allows us to, even provide additional security features if your needs are. And we do this all, using Fivetran. All the automation, scalability, and security with incredible amount of, reliability and support. We have over 200 plus engineers, who are ensuring that your data is where it needs to be, when it needs to be, with 99.9% of platform uptime, syncing, incredible amount of data and managing, enormous amount of connectors for 3,500 plus customers. Some of our customer examples like Autodesk, they use Fivetran to, access data from all its departments. They are basically consolidating data into Snowflake from 17 different applications. By automating the pipelines, Autodesk has been, able to, advance analytics and machine learning, which has helped them drive innovations, reduce cost and mitigate risks. Another customer, Pitney they are basically replicating from 14 different sources into Snowflake, S3, and Redshift. They have seen benefits in moving from like a daily feeds to real-time feeds, which has helped them reduce cost. And then they've basically reached into real-time modeling for prescriptive analytics, and also their monthly reconciliation time, which has gone down from like 31 hours to 2 hours. And that's the power of Fivetran. So to end, the corporate statement of Fivetran is to make access to the data as simple and reliable as electricity. Some of the customers refer to Fivetran as an easy button for moving data into cloud. So I'll pause here. If there are any questions, I can take any questions. I encourage you to visit fivetran.com or come and see us at the back for any additional questions you may have later on.
Got a couple more water.